Welcome, Craig. I
Thank you.
understand that you have a story to share with us.
Yes.
Great. So you had been fairly successful in your life at accomplishing a big goal, helping to get the Green Party started. And you were riding on the sails of that, and then a new desire in your heart popped up. Can you tell us what that was?
Right. It was basically, succinctly, the desire, the dream was having some space that was basically a silent healing circle, people just putting out healing and peace and love for the world, but having that going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, because I had experienced what it would feel like to drop in on something like that if it were to exist. And I thought, I want to be able to experience that anytime I want. I want ideally somebody else to be making it happen, but me be able to drop in. And anyway, I had that feeling driving home from one gathering, and I couldn't get to sleep that night. My head just kept going, well, what would that look like? How would you organize it? And how many people would it take to make that happen? And eventually, okay, I'm not getting to sleep anyway. I might as well start writing these things down. I start writing down how many people, how people would transition in and out of the space during the 24 hours, and got written down and was able to sleep, and went to work trying to figure out, okay, how can I start gathering like-minded people to do this?
So something really captivated you. You said you were at a gathering, a spiritual gathering.
Right.
You had this inspiration. You couldn't sleep.
Right.
It just kept you up. How am I going to make this happen? And then, like most people, when that happens, there's usually a period afterward where it takes some putting things together. Can you say what kind of things happened in what they call in the meantime?
Well, it was sending out emails to everybody I could think of that I thought might be interested in helping with the project, trying to figure out where I could gather people together. So I found a couple spaces around town that I could do it for cheap or free, and started scheduling things once a week, and occasionally somebody would show up.
It's awesome.
But it turned out the next challenge was getting more people to show up, and keeping myself psyched about it in the lack of response.
Trying to keep that enthusiasm that you had originally alive.
Exactly. Yeah. And after about 6 months or so, eventually it felt like beating my head against the wall. I said, okay, I need to step back and rethink this, see if I can get re-inspired somehow. And what hit me was, instead of just building a tiny bit at a time, 1 hour a week here and there, I said, well, what would inspire me would be an appropriate challenge to get me excited was do a 24-hour meditation. And so I found a place that would let me do that, and put out the word, put out posters, put it in the various online calendars and print calendars, and started getting more people to show up than I had before.
What's the maximum number of people you've had?
About 60 total for the whole 24-hour period.
Right.
Over at one particular time, I think 16 has been my maximum.
That's amazing. And you continue to do that to this day a couple times a year, is have this 24-hour.
But I do every month for a couple hours. Yeah.
And you call this the peace generator.
Right.
Yeah.
Started out calling it World Healing Circle. And then I met with some people and sort of did some brainstorming about how to market this better and grow it. And that's where I came up with the peace generator name.
And so if you were to meet somebody who had just been inspired to do something similar to you, what kind of advice would you give them about how from what you learned, what were some of the things that you learned?
If it feels like it's not going, if you're losing inspiration, then be willing to step back a bit and get re-inspired. And also keep reaching out to other people for, bouncing the story, bouncing the idea off them, because that will also help keep you inspired.
Right. So don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
But don't bang your head against the wall.
Yeah. And how many years have you been doing this now?
Since 2001, so 16 years.
16 years. And where can people get information about how to participate in the Peace Generator?
PeaceGenerator.org. That's my
Awesome.
website.
That's great. Thank you for being an inspiration.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.